everyone, it's Tammy, and I'm here. I'm going to make a cute tote that I found on Dawn's Stamping Thoughts YouTube channel. Let me see. It's Dawn5377 is her handle, I guess, on YouTube. And this is a tote bag with Dawn. And she had gotten this idea from someone named Linda. And I don't know her. I don't know Dawn either, but I have followed Dawn for quite some time. She is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and she does fabulous work, and she's so, so sweet. So I will post a link to her video below, but I thought that I would go ahead and give it a try. And I am using not Stampin' Up! Stuff, but I am using the Paper Studio. This is a Hobby Lobby. I don't know if it's a Hobby Lobby brand or if you can get it other places, but I know that Hobby Lobby often has things like this for half off. So it says $19.99, but I'm sure I paid $10 or less for all 60 pages of this paper, which is really nice, heavy-duty cardstock, and it's just really beautiful stuff. And I liked the flower pattern with this green. I thought that looked really cute together. And sometimes those paper packs like that are fun because you know what you're getting and you know that it all matches. So for this tote, you need 2 pieces of, I wrote it down over here so I'm kind of moving. You need 2 pieces of 3.5 by 6 1/4 paper. So it's 3.5 inches tall and 6 1/4 inches long. And I put red Wonder Tape, which is this, and I put one on the edge and then at the bottom, and I did that to both of them. And you do it at the same edge and at the bottom, because what's going to happen is we're going to put this on top of this with one of the tapes, and then we're going to wrap this whole thing around the base with the other tape at the bottom, and then it will attach to itself again when you get to the top. So it'll be like, this is going to be the actual tote. So this tote is rather small, but it would hold cute little goodies or a gift card or something like that. And that's actually what I'm using it for. I'm going to give it as a present, and I'm going to put a gift card inside. So that's why I decided to do this. And then you need a piece of just regular cardstock that matches, so that this is like the base of the tote bag. And this is cut at 2.5 by 5 1/4. So 2.5 by 5 1/4, and this is 3.5 by 6 1/4. Maybe I'll do it that way. 3.5, 6 1/4, 2 of those. 2.5 by 5 1/4, 1 of those. 2 8.5 by 1/4 inch. This is going to be the handles, so it's just 8.5 by 1/4 inch. And these are, there's 4 of these, and these are 1/2 inch tall by 6 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch by 6 1/4 inch. And on each one of these, you need to put a strip of the Wonder Tape, or whatever heavy duty tape you have. You just need to make sure that it will hold up for the project. And usually when I do projects, I usually use this Wonder Tape. And you might want to just use a pair of old scissors that you really don't care if they get gunky, because sometimes this tape does make them gunky. So that's what I do too. And I think that that is, I will need a little bit of this red tape for the corners of my base. So I'm just cutting a little piece off so that I can put that to the side. And I'm going to actually just tape this to my tripod for a second, just barely, so that I can pull it off. So I have all my pieces, but I also need to score this base at 1/2 inch on each side. And I'm going to turn it over to do that. So I want to do 1/2 inch on each side. And this is the Martha Stewart score. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't have a name on it. But I think that you guys have seen these scoreboards before. I have a gray one that I got online that's not a Martha Stewart brand, and then I have this one that's a Martha Stewart brand, and both of them are fine. I like this one sometimes because it has more lines. The other one doesn't have as many score lines. Oh, I already did all 4 of those. Okay, so that's the end of that. And this even tells you, like inside, it tells you standard card size and boxes and like the final box, so you can cut a box or whatever. And I think you can make envelopes with this too. I think it has a, yeah, it came with a little thing so that I can make envelopes. I have an envelope maker though that I actually like a little bit better than this one, but it's still pretty cool. This has all the tools you need, I guess. And that's one thing that I have found in my years of experience. You need the tools, and when you have the tools, you can do the job. And that's true with just about any job. So I know that my workspace is kind of a mess, and I hope that that doesn't interfere with what you guys are seeing. I should probably move that calendar page, but I don't want to because I have my dimensions on this. And I will put those in the description box. So I'm just folding these on the score lines. And I'm going to cut each one of these just down, and I'm going to use these scissors, down to where it meets the other score line. And you're just trying to make little flaps. So you just cut one of the score lines to the other score line. You don't cut this off, you want the flaps. And that's what I'm going to put the glue on that I call it glue, the red tape on that I got. I'm going to put red tape on each one of these flaps. Because we're going to make this into like a little box, not really a box I guess because it's going to be open, but I don't know what to call it. But this is the base of the tote bag, or the purse, or whatever you want to call it. She calls it a tote bag. It kind of looks like a tote bag, but it kind of looks like a purse. So I think I'm finished with those. I'll put those up there, or in their little holder. Okay, so I'm going to build the little base. So to do this, I just peel off the red tape, which is sometimes easier said than done. If you guys have worked with it, you know. And then it's even hard to get the tape off of your fingers. Like seriously, it's crazy. So I'm trying to toss it in the trash can, but it's stuck on me like craziness. So I'm going to try to get both of these sides off, and then I will stick it, and then I'll do the other sides, and then I will stick it. Sometimes I crack myself up. Okay, so now I will stick it. I am just bringing the box ends in like that. And I know I say a lot, and I do mean it. This doesn't have to be perfect. You just do your best, and it will be cute as day, so don't worry. And this whole base thing is going to be covered here in just a second with the designer paper. I call it designer paper because that's what Stampin' Up! Calls it, and I think that you guys know what that means, but it's not really. I'm using generic designer paper, I guess, according to the Stampin' Up! World. These little red things get on my nerves. Okay, so I just push that pretty tight with my fingers, like give it a good pinch so that it will stick together, and there's your little base. And then we're going to take this, and I'm going to figure out, I want this end, because if I peeled off this end, I'd be getting into that mess. So this one I did a little better at clipping the sides, so I'm going to put this end on this so that it will be stuck together like that. So I'm peeling off this red tape. And then I'm going to put this on top of this. And I'm just covering up the tape. I don't want to go too far over because I need all of this length to wrap around the base. Now guys, just so you know, I was looking for something creative to do for a gift card. So I just kind of Googled, I don't even remember what I was Googling, gift card holder or something like that. And that's when I came across, oh, my cat's playing. That's when I came across the tote bag, and I watched it, and I haven't made one of these yet, but I just thought, okay, I can do this. So just have confidence when you're looking at stuff. You can do it. I mean, we're just regular people, and the dimensions. It's like following a recipe, only it's crafting. Your recipe might not taste exactly the same as somebody else's recipe, even though you think you follow the exact same pattern, but it's still going to be good. And it's the same with these, you know. And sometimes you mess up, and that's okay. So I went ahead and peeled off all my red tape. And now I'm going to start this on the side because I don't want the seam to be in the front. I want the seam to be at the side. So it doesn't matter which side you start with. And I'm just putting it along the bottom of the base. And I'm just going to stick it along the edge. And I'm not going to put a big fold in here because I don't really want it folded. I don't want there to be a big crease up the side of the tote. I want it to be rounded, but I need it to fit on the edge. So I'm just softly using my fingers to guide this along the edge. See how that works? Like it's, and I got a little bit off, so I'm not sticking it down until I know I'm good. And then I have a chance to kind of push it down again. So see how I'm kind of sticking it and going over this edge, but I'm not making a crease in the bag, so it has a nice folded look. And then here's the seam for this side, which is fine. I just don't want the seam in the front or the back, just so it looks nicer. And I'm just being careful to get it lined up against the, and then now the seam should come over to the side. Yay. Just like that, just like perfect. And then I'm going to put these two sides together, and again I'm going to kind of make sure that I'm not folding it, but I'm getting it enough in there so that they stick together nicely. And here we go. Here's the whole big, mostly part of our tote. I mean, if you wanted to, you could be finished now. I mean, that's a cute little holder. There you go. Happy birthday. Put a little tissue paper in there and a gift card and you'd be set. Sorry, I needed my Diet Coke. This is one of those little cans. It's 7.5 ounces. I like them. Alright, so now we're going to take the 4 pieces of the 1/2 inch by 6 1/4 inch, and these are going to go around the bottom and then around the top. So this is why I said that you don't have to be perfect, but you know, this is just decorating. And before I do the top, I'm going to actually go ahead and stick down the handles, and then I'll put a brad through the whole top, I think. I'm just talking out loud. Now see how this seam kind of ends that way, and this seam kind of ends that way? It doesn't matter which way I go. Just pick a side and put all of these on the same way. So these are going to all go like down. So I'm going to do the other ones down too, so that the seam then faces out. I think that's what I want. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm lining up the bottom without sticking it down. I'm just carefully trying to line up the bottom, and I'm kind of centering it so that these seams will also be on the side and not in the front of my project. And I'm just kind of making sure that they're not sticking too far down at the bottom. And when I get it placed where I want it, I just then will fold it over. Again, not folding it real hard, not giving it a big crease, just folding it. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to go at the bottom, line it up, and fold it over. So I guess what I'm trying to say now, I want to make sure that the seams on the top one match the seams on the bottom one. I don't want the seams going the opposite direction up here than they did down here. So I'm going to have to start with the top one this way too, and then cover it up with the other way. But then I was thinking, do I want to put my handles down first and then put brads on my handles to hold them, or do I want to go ahead and put this down and hold my handles with this, but I think I'm going to use the brads. I kind of like that look, so I think I'll use brads to hold my handles so I really can put this down first. I just thought of that when I was taping all of it. So I take the red off, and then I do the same thing. I center it up, and I'm using my fingers to feel the top edge of the bag. Whoops, I kind of messed up here. And sometimes if you mess up, you can't pick it up, and sometimes you can. But I try to lightly just place this on here so I'm not sticking it yet, so that if I do screw up, I can fix it. So that's what I did, and I was able to fix it. So now I'm just pushing this around and making sure that it stays at the top. And the top part, I will say, is a little bit harder just because it's a little more freer than the bottom. The bottom has the base that you can kind of use as a guide. The top is a little bit harder. It's not hard, just a little harder. And then do the same thing with the last one. Kind of just center it up in your... This one has a little mark. I don't know if you can see that white mark, but I'm going to try to put the handle there, maybe, or maybe not. It doesn't matter. I'm just centering this up, looking at it, trying to get a center part, lining it up with my fingers. I want it to kind of hopefully be about the same place as the seam, but it's not going to be exact because they're different shapes. This top is oval and this bottom is a rectangle, so it's going to be different anyway, but just I try to get it close. And then I'm just guiding this along, covering up that seam, guiding this along, covering up that seam, and then now I give it a good stick and I'll just go all the way around. But here's what I was talking about with the seams. See how this one is, for me, it's the top one's over the bottom one, the top one's over the bottom one. I wouldn't want this one to be top over bottom and this one be bottom over top. So just kind of pay attention to that. And then this is the same way. Of course, the other one is going to be different because you had to stick them both on separately. So this part is different from these parts, but it's far enough away that it looks decent. So there we go. There's most of our tote is mostly complete. I'm going to try to throw these red things away. Sometimes, like I said, it's difficult to get them off of your fingers or your hands. It's crazy how those are, but okay, they got them. Now these are just little baby handles, and we're going to put one on like this, and then one on like this, and that's the whole handle. Now I know that Dawn scored hers at the bottom, but I don't find that necessary. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to see if I can't somehow cover that up with a brad, but I don't really need to. Actually, I think I'm going to even just make them further apart because it's kind of long handles. And if you don't like the handles that long and you want it to be a short little tote bag, you can do that too. See how you can make it smaller? And I would just cut off all that extra, which would be this much extra. So you could cut a good 2 inches off, or heck, you could cut off as much as you wanted. You could make the handle, you know, you could make it a little basket and put a handle on it like this, and you could hang it up and put little stuff in it, or whatever you wanted to do. So please be creative and do what you feel like you want to do. I am going to take just regular tape, this snail tape, and put a little bit on each side of my handle. And I'm going to do that with both handles. Sorry, I hit the tripod. So that I can put it along where I want it before I put the brads on, and I haven't even gotten my brads out yet. Shame on me. So I'm going to take this and just, I don't know if you saw how we did that, just take each of this and just fold them, and it kind of makes the paper just have a nice little fold in it like a purse handle, but it, you know, it doesn't take away from anything. And I'm going to make them kind of far apart. This is going to be like a summery beach bag. And this is bugging me. I didn't get enough tape on the end of this to make it on the very, very end. So I'm just going to take my mono adhesive in here and just use that. As long as I have the red tape on most of it, it's going to be just fine. I might even do a little bit here if I can, just because I'm anal. And I don't like those flaps sticking up at all. I should have done that earlier, but I didn't think about it. There we go. Now the flaps aren't sticking up at all, and I just like that better. Just because, again, I'm anal. So take this long, this is the 8.5 inch by 1/4 inch. Take this, both ends, and fold it in. And then now, because I already have one handle on, I'm going to just try to match up where I put that handle with where I'm putting this handle. And this tape doesn't really hold it too well, and I didn't push it on very hard. Like, I wouldn't want to leave just this tape, although it's strong enough to hold it for now. I mean, I'm pretty much done. I could be finished. But I want to put a brad through it, and if I wasn't going to put a brad through it, then I would use the red tape to hold these down as well. Just because projects sometimes tend to pop open for some reason. I don't know exactly why, but maybe because the paper is folded in a way that it's not used to being folded. I don't know. I mean, obviously paper isn't used to being folded in any way, but you know, like have like smooth angles. I don't know what it is. I can't give you a good explanation as to why they often will pop open and then the project is kind of ruined, or at least hokey looking, because it's not complete. But if you use a brad on the handles, that will fix that situation. Or if you want to use the red tape, you could do that too. So I'm just going to find my brads. I think I even have some cute flower brads. I wonder if that would look cute or if that would be like overkill. Let's see what I got here. And this is just in my stash. I have glittery brads too. But here are the flower brads I was thinking of. And I actually think that those would be cute. See the flower brads? Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can. I thought I dropped one. Yes, I did. Oh, it's purple and I couldn't see it. So I need to pick out the colors that I want. The pink would work. There's two stuck together there. I also have green. I don't think I want the green. I have yellow. Nope. I have orange. Nope. I have purple. Nope. Oh, and I have blue. Blue might work because there's blue in there too. I like the pink, I think, so I'm going to find 4 pink ones. I have 2 out. 3, 4. I don't know why they stick together like that, but it works for me. Oh, and there's the purple one still out. And look, there's a piece of red tape that I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but of course there's red tape. It's kind of like the glitter. You can't get rid of it. Okay. Let's see. What else do I need? Oh, I need my hole punch. I don't know. I don't have that up there. I have that down here. So I need my little baby hole punch. I don't know if that one will work or if I need one size bigger. Well, I don't have my one size bigger. I don't even know if I have a one size bigger. I don't know what I'm thinking. Huh. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about some... Oh, I think I'm thinking about my crocodile. Okay, so if I put this here and punch, you just have to be careful that you're getting through all the layers and that you're not too close to the end. I'm just going to make my holes first. And you want them to be semi-even. Same with these sides. These handles I made are awfully narrow, but that's okay. It works. I used the same dimensions that Dawn used, which, you know, I got them from her. Thank you, Dawn. But you can make them anything you want. I know that she even, I think at the end of her video, put other dimensional, I can't get these apart, sizes that she did. Like she did a purse that's taller, or a tote bag that's taller, one that's larger, maybe even one that was smaller. So I mean, you can be creative with this. It's just a base. and it's very cool. And it's very cute. And it really didn't take a lot of paper. I used 2 sheets of 8.5, or 8, no I didn't. I used 2 12 by 12 sheets, but I have a lot of spare. Here's my spare. So I have a lot of spare. I could probably make almost another one. So you could probably make 2 with 2 pieces of cardstock, or close to 2. Maybe, I don't know. You could make a smaller one for sure. I don't know, since the sides are 6.25 inches, you might need a little bit more on the side. So I would say you could easily make 2 smaller. You could make 2 small bags, or 1 bag this size and one that's a little smaller. Or 1 bigger bag and 1 smaller bag. You know, the options are endless. So I'm just sticking these little doohickeys through the paper, and I'm making sure that it's through the cardstock as well as my handle, and I'm just kind of making sure that the flower, like the pokey thing of the brad, isn't sticking up through the purse so you can see it. I put this one a little too far on the side. I should have gone a little more in the center with this end of the handle, but again, it really doesn't matter. No one else is going to look at this and say, oh, Tammy, this is off center, you screwed up. And if they did, they didn't deserve the present in the first place. So here we go. Here's our finished handbag with the little, oh, and see, I made this one a little too high. Oh well. This is the finished handbag. I'll probably use this as the front because this is a little cuter, and that one I did make a little too far off, but I mean, it's fine. So here we go. This is my tote bag. I'm going to put a little bit of oh, what do you call it, tissue paper inside. I have some tissue paper over here. I'm going to get it just so you can see. This is paper from my monthly Jolly mail from the Jolly Fat Elf that I just didn't have the oomph to throw away because it's so darn cute. I'm so weird like that. So this is used tissue paper that probably doesn't even match this. It doesn't match this tote bag, but this is what it will look like. And then I'll just put a gift card inside. So imagine that being a little different color, although that doesn't look too awfully bad. But there we go. That's the tote. Isn't that cute? So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And if you make one, please let me know. I'd love to see it. Thank you. Bye-bye.